Hi, my loves. Part 2 on this read. Go to part 1 to make sure this whole thing makes sense. But that's where I'm saying I feel like this person, in a way, you did give them some form of power. As far as I feel like this collective, you really did let this person take the lead on a lot of things. But at the same time, there's, as much as I do feel like there was love here, there's not too much emotions here. There was a lot of fear. There was, again, I don't think you or this person's processed whatever you were walking away from properly. I feel like, I'm going to be honest, this dynamic just felt rushed. This person knows that. The only thing they knew about you is they truly felt safe with you. They knew you weren't really going to abandon them. But at the same time, there was a fear of abandonment, especially if they didn't want to, communicate with you properly, or if they, again, like I talked about, like I said, go to part 1 to make sure it makes sense, or if they took the easy way out of things. I think in this person's own right, with that King of Wands energy, again, you gave them a leverage. They protected you in a lot of ways, not just from themselves, but from other things, other people. I think this person really was a masculine. They just sucked about opening up about emotions towards you clearly, but so did this collective. Okay. Now let me see what is truly the outcome and whatever's the lesson between you and this person, okay? Yep, the smoke is all blowing towards me. Something's coming. I have my incense right here. I don't know if you could tell. Sometimes with the camera it picks it up. I can't tell, but it's like blowing right towards me. Something's near me. Something's coming. Yep, I don't know if you can see the smoke coming in. Interesting. Tap, tap, tap. All right. What's the outcome of this beautiful collective and their person? Okay. Let me start with 4 like I did last time. So I got the 7 of Cups in reverse. Oh. Knight of Wands, the Star, and the Emperor. That came out again. This is not over. Wow. Use discernment, please. This needed time, and you knew that. That's where I'm saying the smoke is literally in my face right now. I'm like, oh, on the incense. This dynamic needed time. I rarely say this on my page lately, but that was your husband. Star and the Emperor, that's your person. You know that. One second. With this 7 of Cups in reverse and Knight of Wands, it's kind of like that changes had to be necessary with that Knight of Wands. Like it needed to be changed. I always say with my 7 of Cups, not every cup is good for you. Not every option that's presented to you is good. One of them is bound to be poisonous. And to be honest, again, this is a reading of both people are kind of guilty in their own right. I always say when it comes to relationships, it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to make a relationship. It takes 2 people to fall apart. Yes, I'm not saying drama can't go down and one person's to blame out of this, but I can't stand they did everything wrong and I did no wrong. I can't stand that. So I will say this fear and this mindset, nope. But your old ways were not working. And to be honest, during the separation, again, go to part 1. If one or the both of you in your own way was in the process of walking away from something brutal in your life, it's like, I feel like maybe even when you guys were together, you spent a long time finding the reasons about each other why this could never work. And I think it was the both of you. Maybe there was at one point too much pointing the fingers, or this can never work because I got issues, or they got issues, or they got or tripping about this or tripping. No, it doesn't matter. There was a lot of things that needed to be eliminated. You could point the finger all day and every day, regardless whether you want this person back or not, or whether a connection's meant to be back or not. Those old nasty cups need to go. And bottom line is the both of you are guilty of self-sabotaging with that Knight of Wands energy. It's very impulsive. It's very all over the place. I always look at that card as kind of my jackrabbit. And maybe at one point this person specifically did go through their Seven of Cups. Maybe they did try to move on at one point. It didn't work. You guys had to sip on some poisonous cups during this time of separation. I always say feminines deal with everything internally. Masculines deal with everything externally. How many habits have you changed since this person? And if you're in your, on your throne a little too high, doing the no, I did no wrong, I don't need to make changes, they did, this is not your reading. You both had to evolve from this. What kind of things did we have to evolve from? Let me do that. Let me see what kind of things. The world in reverse, the cycles that were never completed. And again, if this collective, if you had a tendency, like I said in part one, like walking on eggshells all over this person because you did not want to start conflict, guess what? You don't think you're going to be dealing with that with other people? Did you deal with those lessons with family, your coworkers, your own friends, your siblings? I feel like this collective, you've been faced with lessons since the separation of standing up for yourself, setting boundaries, not walking on eggshells because you don't want somebody being mad at you or abandon you. You both have abandonment wounds. This person had to understand they can't give up so easily when it comes to love, when it comes to their emotions. You love something, you stick with it. For some of you, maybe this person can't keep a job, and it's not from a sense they're lazy. Maybe this person deep down really does have commitment issues because they dealt with their Eight of Cups all the time, like I talked about in part one. Like I said, go to part one. It will make sense what all I'm blabbling about, okay? I think this person with the Emperor right here, yes, that's a masculine energy, but I think you've improved a lot yourself. That's improvement that has happened. This is not really a reading of when are they going. That's not what the point is about this reading of like when are they going to come. This, all you need to know is, yeah, this person's meant to be. If you're dealing with a narcissistic person, please, that's not for you. Please, like, you should never want that nonsense back. What else you got to talk about with this collective? Four of Swords. Eight of Swords. What did I just say? The both of you had to get out of your own way. Five of Pentacles. This is the both of you. What did I just say? That is true abandonment wounds. The world in reverse is true unfinished business. Doors are still open. Now, obviously, use discernment. Free will's at play here. If you don't want this person back, that is fine. You are not obligated to take this person back at all. But if you are wanting to know the outcome, I do think you guys still got a few more lessons to go. I don't think you're all the way quite there with the Star and the Emperor. They're telling you outcome-wise, yeah, you guys definitely have... You guys can definitely be together. Am I seeing it right now? No. Let me see more with that Four of Swords and Eight of Swords, because that's still victim mentality on both of your ends. Because again, two mirrors are going on. Please, the Hierophant in reverse. Temperance in reverse. With the Hierophant in reverse, that's kind of what I'm saying. I think in your own right, this is the both of you. You still have your moments of victim blaming. They're the problem. They did this to me. Well, somebody with the Emperor, put your pride down and understand that this is a connection that both of you want. That part takes time. Free will's a part of it. If one or the both of you can't get out of your own way, that's that. But I think with that Hierophant reverse, it's the both of you. I think there's still too much POS. They did this, they did that. Instead, good grief. There's too much, and that's the sad part, I will say, this dynamic. And I always say feminines lead, the more you knock it off, I feel like there's too much of this. Focus on yourself for right now. Pull back from your energy. I feel like, as bad as it sounds, the both of you right now trigger each other, even if you guys are not talking. I think the thought of this person ticks you off, especially if they've been through their options. You know what I mean? One more. Five of Swords in reverse, like I said, I feel like this retrograde too is also going to see, are you going to give up? They don't want you to give up, but I think pride and egos are getting in the way, especially at the bottom of the deck, the Three of Cups in reverse at third parties. If you or this person has moved on and if there's bitterness going on, Six of Swords, literally, you got to sail to calmer waters. If you both of you choose not to, then no, the whole star moment you two can have will not work. This still needs time. If I see reconciliation, it won't be till next year of some time.